Hello, 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 y'all. We're coming to you makeup free in all her glory. Um, Today's live broadcast, we're going to be talking about things about me that are changing, specifically my identity. Also, if you hear anything in the background, it is my family's pit bull. He is a whiny baby and he whines about everything. Hopefully, he can be a good boy during this live broadcast. Um, but yeah, his name's Two Tone. He's white and gray, and he hears himself being talked about. Anyway, um, so yeah, this. If you haven't read the title by now, I'm gonna talk today about how my identity is changing. My identity is changing. So, I wrote a little brief. It wasn't even really like a full blown journal entry at the time. But it's just like a little brief excerpt, I guess. Hey y'all. Um, and I just want to say, I'm just gonna read it. Just gonna read it to clarify. Um, so starts off like this. No, we're not doing that unless you want to go to timeout. Okay, so 3 months ago, I set out to start over and reset my life as I knew it. Now, this was when I first uploaded that video when I was like starting the F over, and I kind of just gave you guys my backstory and shared a bunch of things that were going on, where my life was, where my life is, and where my life is headed. So if you haven't seen that video, feel free to go watch it or not. It's up to you. Either way, that's what happened 3 months ago. Then I manifested, sorry, some people don't like the word manifest. Actually, I don't care what people like. I manifested 5,000 subscribers. Okay. Also, guys, just a heads up, my allergies are whooping my ass. Okay. So, bear with me. No. Matter of fact, actually, let me let him out because hold on. I'm going to let him out real quick. Out you go, buddy. Okay. Now we have peace and quiet. Can you hear me? Good. Also, let me see. Let's see what I have for this live chat. Okay, now set to everyone can chat. So yeah, 3 months ago, I set out to start over and reset my life as I knew it, and it was the beginning of a much needed shift in my mindset and outlook. I realized that I was going to either learn by choice or I was going to learn by force what it takes to be the woman of my dreams. I had to release some limiting beliefs and stagnating behavior that was holding me back. Now that it's the second quarter of the year, I'm more confident about who I'm showing up as and how I want to continue to create and evolve. My current sole for my current sole focuses are my YouTube channel, my income, and my body. And when I mean my body, of course I mean the aesthetic aspect of my body, but mainly my health. I don't have any major health issues or anything like that. I'm more so just want to like have a nice standard health. I want to meet the standard of health. And so that means staying hydrated. That means having a diet that provides all the nutrients that I want, or whatever the case is. I feel like I might look a little tired, but I could not feel more radiant. Especially like the past few days. Like I said, my allergies have been whooping my ass. Okay. My allergies have been tearing me up. Yes, we're gonna do this together, Ghost Rider. Um, and as a result of being in and out of heat sweats and just sleep sweats, I look a little like pale and tired, but allergies are just that. Allergies. Sometimes you lose the fight. But let's talk about some things that I'm going to change. Not even necessarily change, but yeah, like my identity is changing, my identity is shifting, my identity is evolving. If you ever watch the 90 Day Fiance, you look just like Ashley. Love your energy. I have not watched 90 Day Fiance, but after I get off live, I'm definitely gonna go and give it. People have been recommending I watch it because I love Love Is Blind. I love Perfect Match. I love like these like dating shows. Like I'm just really interested in psychoanalyzing them because I was a psych major. So it's just really fascinating to me how people act in these environments. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out after this live. All right, so to tap into what I want to start changing and evolving, or what some things that are naturally changing and evolving. And thank you for the likes, guys. So number one, aside from my long-term plans like traveling, I now only plan 1 to 3 days ahead instead of doing yearly, monthly, or weekly planning. Now, my past self would be screaming, okay, if she heard me say this, because I used to be a 365-day in advance planner, and I would plan by the month. Okay, I would plan very strictly. Now I'm learning that I create best when I don't have that much pressure on myself. I create best according to how I'm feeling. And one thing I also notice is those who were psychology or philosophy majors or involved into it always become the most powerful manifestos. Keep it going. Thank you, Ghostwriter. I'm learning that about myself. If I'm following my natural intuition and my natural interests, it always takes me to the most abundant spaces. So that's what I'm doing now. Um, but yeah, as far as planning, as far as content or planning, getting work done, whatever the case is, I can't plan that far in advance. I'm an intuitive creator. I create intuitively. I move intuitively. I think and eat and listen to music intuitively. I do everything by how I feel. And I'll give you guys an example. One day I might feel like creating content about this topic, and then by the time it comes to upload that content, I no longer feel like talking about that topic anymore. See what I'm saying? So essentially, it's like, I don't know if it's like my ideas have a lifespan per se, but I think that's exactly what it is. I think that my ideas are starting to kind of have a lifespan. And I will say, like I said, how many days did I say? 1 to 3 days. So if I have an idea, I have to act on it, get it down on paper, and film it within 3 days. Or sometimes I'll just be like, I'm leaning more towards this now, or I'm leaning more towards this now. That's kind of why I'm leaning more into going live on YouTube, because it's in the moment. I feel inspired to talk about it. I feel, like it's a fresh idea. And so I can give more energy to it, and I can put my all into it a little bit more. Um, but yeah, so even in my notes, I put, I want to start going live more. There's this creator, her name is Nala Wright, inspired me to do so. I love her lives. They feel so intimate and like a chit chat session. So there's this creator named Nala Wright. I wish that I could, hold on. Is there a way to, mm, I wish I could share. I can't share her channel. I don't know. Okay, I wish I could share channels, but there is a creator named Nala Wright who she recently got monetized by just going live. She was connecting with her audience, building authentic connections, and creating a community. So, kind of like what I've been doing on TikTok. Like I used to go live every single day on TikTok. Now I don't as much because I'm not really into like short form content as much as I used to be, but I want to start going live on here more frequently so that we can build a connection, we can build a relationship, we can connect more. Um, and we can kind of like help each other along and hold each other accountable, like I said, like I started out to do earlier in last month. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold myself to that. You guys don't have to hold me to it. I'll hold myself to it, and we're going to get it done. Um, Number two, my niche is shifting into mostly self development and deliberate manifestation. Now, I know that everyone kind of is like, oh, you are the niche. And like, I guess I know I am the niche, But there are certain things that I lean more into speaking about than other things. And when I say deliberate manifestation, I mean quite literally like the creation of your desired life, the creation of your dream life, right? I feel like a lot of us don't really, we think that it's like this woo woo thing, but it's quite literally scientific. And if you are religious, it's also like they talk about manifestation in religion too. So I'm gonna like intersect all of these different paths of manifestation, whether it be science based, religious based, or spiritually based. I'm gonna intersect them and just kind of like highlight the joint points that they all talk about essentially. Um, I love the fact that I am my niche and I can really talk about anything. But to be transparent, my zone of pleasure and my zone of genius are mostly centered around getting the life I truly want. And that's what I'll be focusing on until it happens. Eventually, ooh, I should change that because I don't like how I worded that. Getting the life I truly want, it's more so like being the person that I truly want to be. And then I said, eventually it'll shift into how to maintain the life of your dreams, right? Because once you get the life of your dreams, you're always going to want more, more, more. But we don't, like, what do you do when you get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do when you get the life of your dreams, the life that you've been trying to manifest, the life that you put on the vision board? What do you do then? I feel like nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about, like, what to do after you get it all. I mean, of course, enjoy it, be grateful for it, share it, be generous, da 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 da, all that fun stuff. But like, I want to get more deep into it. Let's see. So the next one is YouTube or bust. That's number 3. I won't be stressing about all the other platforms and their turbulent algorithms. When I decided to spread out to the other platforms, my energy and enthusiasm was starting to simmer down and dwindle, which made it harder for me to be consistent. This is a lesson I don't want to have to learn again. So until I'm ready to expand, I'll be solely posting to YouTube and intuitively on my Instagram story and feed. So I started YouTube in January or December, late December, early January. And everything was going great. I was creating because like I was inspired and I felt like really determined. And I was going full speed ahead. But once I started to branch out and add on and layer on all these other social media platforms, I started to get stressed out. It started to be less fun, and I didn't want to like create as much as I used to. So, what I'm going to do is take the pressure off myself and only focus on YouTube because I feel like, in all reality, that's all I have the energy to do. I don't have the energy for anything else right now. In fact, like, that's why I said that I wanted to like continue to go live because going live is it's like kind of revving me up and preparing me and training me to be just a better speaker, a better creator, and just better at connecting, you know what I'm saying, via the internet with humans that are on the internet. um, so yeah, that's number 3. Number 4, I said that I want to start diversifying my income, and I refuse to only have 1 to 2 streams of income. So yeah, I said I want to start working on digital products geared towards self-development and manifestation, like planners, guides, and self-help tools. I'm currently working I'm currently working on a self-concept workbook, but I'm going to have to go through it myself as a customer so that I can have an idea of what it's like to use my products. I don't want to sell you something I haven't experienced myself. It feels fraudulent. Okay, so that's a big thing. So it's funny because I actually created this self-concept workbook. It was called Become the Damn Dream. And I did this like test trial workshop with some people. I found them on Instagram. It was some women. A couple of them I already knew, a couple of them I didn't. They were following my other social platforms. But we did like this private, like almost like group FaceTime or like Zoom call session, like once a week. And it went great. It just didn't go how it didn't really. I feel like I needed to do better work when it comes to finding my customer, my ideal customer, because I feel like someone who's going to buy that type of product, they're ready to get the work done. They're not going to drag their feet. They're going to move and be inspired and motivated on their own accord. Like, it's not something you have to amp them up and geek them up to do. They're going to just do it on their own accord. And I don't feel like I got the people who were just willing to do it on their own accord. Like, I feel like people were like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Like, that's what I feel like kind of happened. So, that test trial run wasn't really a good reflection of my course. I mean, not course, of my workbook at the time. So I want to kind of like refresh it and then take it, like go through it as a customer, like from the perspective of a customer, and then I'm going to release it because I feel like, I don't know, some people, everyone's just not that reliable. So I'm going to go through it with the enthusiasm of actually getting to the end goal, which is replenishing my self concept. And I think I'm going to start that this weekend. I'm actually, oh, that's what I can do. So I have my members on YouTube. I'm going to have my members go through the workbook with me for free so that they kind of like get an understanding of the process itself and what it means to replenish your self-concept, what it means to detox your self-concept and rebuild your self-concept according to your own terms. Let's see. And then another thing, membership. My membership on YouTube. I want to provide more for my members, like challenges and private live broadcasts. That is neither here nor there because I already discussed it with them. And we will be having another discussion coming up pretty soon because I don't want them to feel like I just abandoned them. I'm just like really going through it, y'all, with these allergies. Like I have been sleeping on and off like all week. So I'm just like, okay, my energy is like low. Okay, I'm surprised I even got on live tonight, but I was like, I feel committed, I'm dedicated, and I'm not gonna let you guys down. So I'm here. If you can tell, I don't feel my best, but I decided to show up anyway because if you see me at my best all the time, like, how do you even know that I ever struggled? You know what I mean? How do you even know I know what the hell I'm talking about at this point? And then the fifth one that I have on here is I want to focus on my relationship with food and refine my gym performance, which I've already actually been doing. So that's why I'm saying like my identity is changing. It's not going to change. My identity is changing in the present right now. Like currently, as we're speaking, I am quite literally transforming into my dream self. So I decided to lessen my sugar intake and focus more on proper hydration and protein consumption. I realized I was trying to build muscle mass while also losing weight way too fast. So I want to focus on losing weight first while working on my technique and form. The muscle will form from my habits. I decided to start running to build my endurance and stamina. Eventually I want to join a running club, but I'm currently running slow and solo until then. So my goal is to build a better mind body connection and also just kind of like have a healthier outlook on food and dieting and just like taking care of yourself, self-care, etc., all of that, because I feel like I come from a generation where skinny, as long as you're skinny, it doesn't matter how healthy you are. And I know that that sounds kind of like delulu, but like the 90s was a damning time, okay? The early 2000s was a damning time, okay? So yeah. That's what I want to do. That's what I've currently been doing. I've been running at least 2 to 3 times a week. I've been going to the gym almost every day to every other day. And it's not because I feel like I have to, but it's because it feels good. The gym has quite literally become therapy for me. It's become my place of release and peace and learning. And I just posted on my Instagram story today if you guys want to check it out. It has changed my life. It has changed my mental health. It has changed how I see myself. It has changed how I see my body and other people. And I'm just really, really proud of myself for sticking it out this long. Because we're on the second quarter. And I've been going to the gym consistently. So kudos to me. Um, and then last but not least, another thing that I've decided to change is my mindset when it comes to money, when it comes to any type of abundance, when it comes to any type of like wealth or finance or anything like that. Um, I wrote a note about this It's not even a note. It's an affirmation. There's two affirmations. So, one thing that makes me feel so abundant and so wealthy, and I want y'all to take this home with you tonight. If you already are home, take it with you. It makes me feel like this when I say this. I feel zero resistance to my desires. And another way to say this would be I'm living in my answered prayers right now. And every time I say either one of these things, some amazing things happen. Like, I just get a wash of calm. Like, I just get a wash of just like this yummy gratitude feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. Um, but I just get this really good feeling every time I say it. And I feel like we should make it a habit to say these things to ourselves. We should make it a habit to speak to ourselves in this way. Like, I feel zero resistance to my desires. That doesn't feel good when you say it. I feel zero resistance to my desires. I am living in my answered prayers right now. Just let that sit and sink in. So just changing the amount of times that I speak to myself. I don't really talk to myself as much as I used to, and I think that that's another reason that I've experienced a lot of stagnance because there hasn't been much like conversation with myself as I used to when I was living alone. So I'm gonna start like just having those very affirmative and positive conversations with myself, conversations with God. I'm actually gonna do a journaling session after this live broadcast. But I really want to get back into doing that because it's been like a month since I like wrote in my prayer journal. And I love writing in my prayer journal. I love writing in my regular journal too. I just have to pick it back up as a habit because habits turn into manifestations. Yeah. But yeah, so those are some things that are changing about my identity, and I'm really excited to see where they go. I know that those are the only things, like I said, that I'm focusing on, which is YouTube, my mindset, my body, and my income. That's it. I don't want to focus on anything else. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is not important. It's not necessary. It's not worth looking at twice. Okay. Like, I don't want to focus on anything else. I don't want to be distracted. I want to get things done in my own timing, of course, but I just want to get it done. I just don't want to have to worry about what if this doesn't happen? What if I don't succeed? What if it doesn't matter? We already know that the negative things are a possibility. So why even mention them? Why even care? What if this doesn't happen for me? What if I don't get this? What if blah 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 blah? Okay. What if? Now you're spiraling. So we're only going to focus on the positive things. We're only going to focus on what we want, where attention goes, energy flows, and energy creates exactly what we want. And we want what we want to be created and materialized in this physical reality right now. So, yeah, that's all I had to give to y'all today. Like I said, my allergies are on 10. Do you guys have any things that you're changing or evolving into when it comes to your dream life or your desires or anything that you're focusing on right now? I would love, if you're interested, to share. I would love for you guys to share. This is a safe space. How do you prevent negative possibilities from sucking away your motivation, though? I changed my perspective, I changed my focus. The reason that negative possibilities are so prevalent in your life, you guys, is because you are focused on them. You are thinking about them. You are probably researching them. You are conversating about them with other people. You're sitting and simmering in them. You're spiraling into them. You're focused on them. And your attention is the most valuable asset that you have. And so, since you're giving your attention and investing your attention and pouring your attention into all these negative possibilities, of course they're going to expand. What you focus on expands. What you focus on multiplies. What you focus on becomes more and plentiful and abundant. And so since you're focusing on it, it's going to become more and plentiful and abundant. Did I answer your question? This is fun. I can answer questions all night about this. When I tell y'all I've been studying law of assumption, quantum mechanics for the past 8 years, and I've had my ups and downs with it. Amen to that. Yes. Yes, 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 y'all. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for also blessing me with your attention and blessing me with your presence. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Is there anything that you guys are specifically trying to call into your life in this current moment? Another thing also, like I know I already mentioned this in my first video, but I want to like just create a stronger, sorry, that probably sounded so gross. Create a stronger connection with God, the universe, the Most High. Okay, let's see what we have. You did, but as someone who gets their motivation sucked with one negative thought, it's hard, but I'm working on it. So it's okay that you feel like it's hard. Okay. I don't want to take away that sense of realness, the feeling of it being challenging for you, because that is your current reality, right? But let's say you want it to be easy, right? You want it to be easy to call things into your space, to have a peaceful mindset, and to be able to change your thought process in the drop of a dime. Sorry, drop of a hat, right? That is still a choice. And every single thought that you allow to sit in your mind is a choice. So just know that you're choosing. This is what you are actively choosing. The only way to correct that is to go on a mental diet. Now, I'm not saying that a mental diet is mandatory for you to call things into your life, but what I am saying is if you are someone who habitually you cannot turn it off, you every time a negative thought comes, you're like, ah, my motivation's just shot. It's because you're allowing it to. It's not because that's really what's happening. It's because you believe that every single time a negative thought comes, that your motivation is going to get sucked. You believe that wholeheartedly. Now, what if you change your beliefs? What if you were like, every time a negative thought comes across my mind, it does not harm me or my motivation? What if you started to say that and affirm that on the regular? What do you think would happen? What would happen if you started to change the way that you speak about your negative thoughts? Because, like, I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm not threatened by negative thoughts anymore. I have negative thoughts all the time. You're human. You are a human of duality. Without the good, there wouldn't be bad. And without the bad, there wouldn't be good. We are living in a dual, a universe that's based on duality. Okay, so take the power away from your negative thoughts. That is what I would say, because they're not bad. Everyone has negative thoughts, everyone has negative emotions. Every emotion is necessary, right? Every emotion is necessary to communicate information to you in your mind and how it is you're feeling. And so when you take the power away from your negative thoughts and say, oh, this is a natural part of me, this negative thought is not harmful for me. And anytime I think a negative thought, it will not manifest. It's just a thought. Now, what you need to worry about is if you continually are embracing this negative thought as your reality. You can either see a negative thought as just what it is, a negative thought. It's not that deep. It's going to come and it's going to go. Or you can sit in the negative thought. You can analyze it and tear it apart and look at it and read it and sniff it and smell it and touch it and taste it and see and just like really like submerge yourself in the negative thought. Now that's something that you need to worry about because you are giving so much attention and time and thought to this negative thought. Hi, E-Ray, how are you? So if you want to ease your mind when it comes to negative thoughts, take the power away from negative thoughts and just see them as another thought. It's just another thought. Enjoying your content, love your energy and vulnerability, encouraging me to get my channel going. Sadly, got to drop off UK time zone. Thank you so much, Mindblown, for watching what they didn't teach you. Ooh, I'm going to have to tap into your content. We're waiting for you. We're ready for you. Whenever, whenever you're ready, we're ready for your content. But yeah, did I answer your question again? In order to take away the power of negative thoughts, you have to depedestalize them. Take them off the pedestal. They're not these big, bad, scary things that we think they are. Negative thoughts are just as much weight as positive thoughts. In fact, they don't even have to be just as much weight. They can be less weight. It's just depending on how you see it. Never, ever, ever let your thoughts control you. You control your thoughts, not the other way around. And also, when I say control your thoughts, it's about habitual things. So like when you have a negative thought, intercept it and say, you're not that powerful, okay? Or you're not that harmful. Or say whatever it is you need to say. Hey, how you doing, Markeithia? Negative thoughts are my biggest challenge right now. Yeah, just take their power away. It's just another thought. It's not a big, scary, bad thing. It is just another thought. Observe it. Release it. Observe it. Release it. And that's how you deal with negative thoughts, okay? I know that it sounds easier said than done, but like quite literally, okay, I'll give you an example. So I just had a negative thought just that fast. I don't feel good was my negative thought, okay? So remember, I told y'all like my allergies are really bad right now. And my negative thought, I don't feel good. Now I could take that and I could drag it, okay? And when I say drag it, I mean drag it. I could go into why I don't feel good. I could go into how it feels to not feel good. I could go into all the symptoms I'm experiencing right now. I could go into like congestion and all of that. Peace out. Good night. Mind blown. But I'm not going to do that because guess what? That negative thought has no power. You want to know how I know that that negative thought has no power? Me saying I don't feel good because I'm still on my live. I'm still talking. I'm still motivating other people. I'm still doing and falling into my purpose. You see what I'm saying? I could be in a bed, fetus position, cuddled up, woe is me, complaining, sad, tissues all over my bed, stressed out, worried about tomorrow, probably saying, oh, I'm not going to feel good tomorrow either. And the next day, I'm probably still going to feel sad. Like I could really spiral and really get down and dirty into my negative thoughts, but that's not me because I've changed my mindset. You see what I'm saying? And so since I'm live right now, since I'm talking to you guys right now, since I'm enjoying myself and being who I am authentically by coming on here and spreading, my thoughts, sharing my thoughts and talking with you guys, I took the power away from that negative thought. I don't feel good. It's not real anymore because I'm doing what I would be doing if I felt good. Hey, that's what it is right there. Do what you would do if you would still feel good. So just do whatever the opposite of your negative thought is, behave in that manner. That's how you take away the power of your negative thoughts. So I'll give you, so think about the most recent negative thought that you've had. Now, someone who does not want to think that thought, what is the behavior of that person? Right? So the behavior of the person of my negative thought that I just had, they wouldn't be on live connecting with other people, sharing information with other people, inspiring and motivating other people, empowering other people. They would not be doing that. They would be complaining somewhere, right? But the behavior that I am exhibiting is that of someone who feels amazing. The behavior that I'm exhibiting is that of someone who their negative thoughts don't hold weight. So if you have these negative thoughts, it's going to take a little time. I'm not telling you that it's going to happen overnight. It's going to take a little time, but to quite literally disempower your negative thoughts, you have to take away the weight of it. You have to behave in an opposite manner than your negative thoughts. Literally, your life, your being, your existence, your identity is a byproduct of habits, is a byproduct of what you tell yourself, not what your mind tells you. It's not the other way around, okay? So you have to keep reintroducing. So let's say you're trying to lose weight, but you have a negative thought that, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, right? You keep telling yourself that over and over and over and over and over again. You can have these negative thoughts, and you saying I'm fat in your mind, like you can have these negative thoughts, but your actions, what you're doing, eating healthy, going to the gym or taking a dance class or going for walks or whatever it is, your behavior is what tells the truth. See, your thoughts are actually perceptions of the past. Your thoughts are not even like what's currently happening. It's just what you're retelling, you're regurgitating information. These beliefs and these judgments about yourself, they're all old news. That's the old man. What if your energy doesn't align with you behaving in an opposite manner? Sorry for all the questions. I always like to clear. No, don't apologize for the questions. Any question's a good question. You're good. Okay, so let me read. What if... my mic. I'm going to reread this. What if your energy doesn't align with you behaving in an opposite manner? Your energy is going to go where your attention goes. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows. You have to maneuver the energy. You have to tell your energy. You're letting your energy just do what it wants to do. You need to have more autonomy. You need to have more self-actualization, self-initiation. You have to direct and guide the energy. It's kind of like a conductor in a symphony, right? So all of your energy is of the violinist, the pianist, the bass players, all of these musicians. That's your energy, right? You're the conductor or the composer, or no, conductor? Yeah. You're the one with the stick, the music stick. You are guiding your and telling your energy what song to play. Okay? Not the other way around. So that's what I mean. So you're saying, what if your energy doesn't align with you? No, 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 no. You align the energy. Do you see what I'm saying? It's you. It's your job to do this. You are letting your energy just kind of just go. It's like a pinball machine. You're literally boom, and it's just you're letting it do that. Where you should be streamlining your energy, aligning your energy with what makes you feel good, what makes you feel happy, right? What makes you feel at peace. You don't have any self-autonomy and self-actualization when it comes to your energy. And that's why these negative thoughts are just like badgering you. And you're like, oh, I can't escape this. It's because you are telling you're disempowering yourself. You don't feel empowered. You don't feel in control. And I'm not saying that you should try to control everything that's going on around you. No, I'm saying you need to control yourself. You need to control your own thoughts. You need to control your own energy. And that is how you change what's going on around you. And what's going on around you is going to start changing. And then your thoughts are going to start changing with it. You could change and evolve in any way you want to. But what I always say to start with is identity, is self-concept. You can either change through behavior first, and your behavior is going to affect your identity, or you could change your identity, and your identity is going to play out in your behavior. Either way, it's up to you. But do not let anything outside of you control you or what you believe or how you're feeling. Okay? I feel like I kind of just went on a tangent there, but are we good with that? Like, how do we feel about that answer? And I could clarify even more, just to let you know. But you said, what if your energy doesn't align with you behaving in an opposite manner? That means that you need to start with identity first, right? If you feel like you're acting out these things that replicates a version of yourself that you would rather be and your energy is not aligning with that, that means you're not being yourself. That means that you are doing something that is against who you authentically are. So if you are trying to be someone who is a healthy hottie and you're trying to eat lettuce and your energy's just like, I'm not fucking with this lettuce, y'all. I don't know. This lettuce. I'm not with this lettuce stuff. That means either you need to keep eating lettuce until you become a lettuce person, or you need to try something else. Try kale, try spinach. Switch it up. Either way, you're the one who's in charge. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that. A lot of people tend to forget that they are the ones who are in charge. What do we think about that? What else are we thinking about? What else do we need help with? What other questions do we have? Ooh, I need to do a face mask tonight because I feel like there's a pimple coming right here. Anyway, but yeah, that's how I feel about negative thoughts. That's how I feel about energy. We are the ones who control and manipulate and guide our energy. Yeah. Like I said, where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you're saying that your energy is not aligning with your behavior, where's your attention at? What are you focusing on? What are you giving your energy to? Like, oh, like, because a lot of people be like, I'm trying to be a good person, but it's just, da 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 da. Well, what's your version of a good person? What do you think being a good person? Because, like, everyone talking about, oh, I'm trying to be the best version of myself, I'm trying to be da 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 da. All bullshit aside, all other people's opinions aside, who are you at your best? Because I feel like we're too worried about what other people think. Family, friends, society, coworkers, lovers, friends. Who cares? Who cares what? At the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, you need to be able to say, that was a life well lived. And I did everything for me, and I came here and I was myself and I enjoyed it and I evolved and I grew on my own accord. Not because I was trying to please somebody else, not because I was trying to be somebody else, but because I was trying to be the best version of myself and I was trying to live a happy and fulfilled life. And there's no way that you're going to live a happy and fulfilled life if you're up here trying to please everybody outside of you. I don't care what your grandma said. I don't care what your husband or fiance said. I don't care what anyone in your life says. If it doesn't make you happy, if it's not who you genuinely and authentically are, then you should not be doing it. You should not be trying to be it. I don't care how strong your religion is or how strong your mother or father's morals and I don't care about any of that. Live for you. That is how you live. That is how you live a life well lived, is when you live for you. And everything else is a byproduct of you living a good life for you. And those are the people who are most rewarded. People who live their lives authentically and purposely for them, they lead the best lives. You can keep on trying to abide by other people's rules and trying to put on this mask if you want to. You can keep trying to act like somebody else that you're not just to please other people if you want to, but you're going to be the one drained. You're going to be the one exhausted. You're going to be the one miserable. Everyone else is going to be satisfied because you're performing and you're playing this part that they want you to play. But you need to live for you. You need to be yourself. And that's why a lot of people are miserable. That's why we have all these intrusive and negative thoughts, because those are other people's opinions. Those are other people's feelings. Those are other people's judgments and projections onto us that we're then internalizing and starting to sound like the judgments that they're judging us with. They're starting to sound like us in our voice, in our mind. But it's not you, babe. It's them. So, with that being said, how are we feeling? Did I clarify anything for you guys tonight before I sign off? Because I know I need this medicine's about to start kicking in. I sound like an old woman. This medicine's about to start kicking in. It's just allergy meds, guys. I'm so happy I went live tonight. I needed to get this off my chest. And also, you helped me clarify something for myself tonight too, Anime. Like, I really, really, really was dealing with negative thoughts yesterday, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, they're so pesky. Like, why am I having these thoughts today? Like, what information is supposed to be delivered to me today? What's going on? But that made so much sense. I was giving them too much attention. I missed the live. Oh no, Green Vegan. I mean, I was just talking about the things that I'm changing about myself. Or more so the things that are naturally changing about me due to my change in behavior and my dedication and discipline. And then we also started to talk about negative thoughts and how to get rid of them. But it's actually not that you should be getting rid of your negative thoughts. It's that you should take the power away from your negative thoughts and just let them vibe. Your negative thoughts are there just as much as your positive thoughts, and they both are needed. So don't try to get rid of your negative thoughts. Just take the power away. It's just another thought. Observe it and let it go. And if you really, 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 really don't like the negative thought, observe it and affirm the opposite. Every single time it comes, observe it and affirm. I'm fat. I'm healthy. Actually, I'm not fat. I'm healthy. And I'm losing weight and I'm growing and I'm learning how to take care of myself. Just like spiral upwards. Remember, y'all, I don't remember what replay. Yeah, replay. You kind of read me, but it was so helpful. Okay. Not the read. Y'all be unintentionally reading. A lot of times it's also because I low-key be talking to myself. Hate to say it, but sometimes I really be needing these little reads too, y'all. Y'all are not alone, trust me. But yeah, take the power away from the negative thought. And Anime was saying how, like, they don't feel like their energy is aligning with the new behavior. You don't let your energy do what it want. You align it. You maneuver it. You create it. Not even create it. You mold it like clay, like Play-Doh. That's what you do to the energy. You don't let it run you. Where your attention goes, remember, guys, where your attention goes, energy flows. This finger, my finger is the energy. Everywhere I look, it's going to follow. It's going to flow. So you could keep focusing on the negative. You could keep focusing on things that you don't want to, want to come into fruition. You could keep on saying, oh, I'm so fat. I'm so broke. I'm so bald head. I'm so ugly. I'm so ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, well, yeah, you're right. You know what? You are fat, bald head, and ugly and broke. And I'm not saying that about you guys. Who knew this live was going to be this funny? Why are you yelling at us again? I was slightly raising my voice. Okay, I was not yelling. I was slightly, like how how I get when I'm passionate, when I feel struck. um, but yeah, your attention is gonna flow to where you repeatedly invest your attention into. And guess what's gonna expand? Like, I think that I say this all the time. It's so simple that you might miss it. It's so simple that you might miss it. We complicate life. I think the answer to life is simplicity sometimes. Simplicity in thought. Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Stop giving it attention. Stop looking it up. Stop researching it. You want to get rid of these pesky negative thoughts about your ex? Stop stalking your ex's social media. Stop looking at the pictures that y'all took last summer 2023 longingly. It's so simple that you might miss it. You want to lose weight. You want to change your mind first about what it means to lose weight. What is it that you're losing? You're losing habits. That's what you're losing. You're losing poor food choices. That's what you're losing. You're losing years of verbal abuse to yourself. I've been dating myself. I'm expensive. You better know that about yourself. You better know. And you're not expensive, babe. You just have fine tastes. And price tags that are a little bit higher might be attached to those tastes. Okay? Just saying. But I think that's wonderful. I've been dating myself as well. I'm actually going to take myself on a date next week. Even though I need to be saving up for this flight to Joshua Tree, California, because I'm going on vacation soon. You know what? I don't even know, because I don't feel like going on a date with myself is going to take away from my funds for traveling. I need to stop thinking like that. That's another thing. Like I said, I'm changing my mind about money and my relationship with money. And I know now that no matter what, the money is always going to come. It's always going to be readily available for me. And I need to start acting like it. Like, I don't want to be a penny pincher. You feel me? I used to be really bad with money, but now that I'm getting more financially informed and educated, I don't want to be a penny pincher, because people who make the most money, they also spend the most money. So it's like, if you're not spending no money and you're not enjoying your life, what's the point of making the money? What are you working for? Are you working for fun? No, you're working for money and you want to spend it. So spend the money. Get that lemon pepper chicken wing. Get it. I'm just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, I'm so happy that we're all taking today to reflect on our thoughts, to reflect on how we're treating ourselves, how we're speaking to ourselves. And I want everybody in the chat to say this real quick. Hold on. Oh, yeah, go spend on what matters to you. Exactly. Okay, so I want everyone in the chat to say this right now. This is an affirmation. I feel zero resistance to my desires. Go ahead. Put in the chat. Put in the chat right now. I feel zero resistance to my desires. And you don't have to believe it. It doesn't have to be true, but I want you to say it to see how it feels to you. Take a deep breath and say it on your exhale. I feel zero resistance to my desires. And just keep saying that. We're going to keep saying that all week. Okay? We're going to keep saying that all week long. I feel zero resistance to my desires. I don't feel any resistance at all. I feel great. I feel like things are just dropping in my lap left and right. I feel like things I've been asking for years are all of a sudden just appearing. I feel like the mindset that I've been wanting to develop has all of a sudden been downloaded and installed like I'm a computer. I just love myself. I love what I do. I love who I am. I love how I breathe. I love how I talk. I love how I walk. I want us to really all get into the habit of feeling zero resistance when it comes to our desires. We have been programmed by society, religion, movies, media. We've been programmed by everyone and everything, our parents. And all of this programming isn't negative or bad, but it's not something we chose. Okay? So I want us to get used to get used to the habit of choosing what you consume, choosing what you install into yourself. And I say install to kind of like take over the word internalize. Because internalize, it does sound a little intense. So install, because I feel like when you say install into yourself, it's easy to uninstall something. So uninstall the idea that changing your mindset is hard, right, Anime? Uninstall the idea that negative thoughts control you, because it's the opposite way around. uninstall, right? Doesn't that sound easier than reprogram, or you have to go through do shadow work, and it's just too much. It's too intense. And really, y'all, a lot of this stuff is not even really that deep. A lot of this, y'all have done uninstallations on your own without even realizing you uninstalled something. It's called unlearning. That's it. That's all it is. So just bloop, I'm uninstalling that. That's not a belief that I want to abide by anymore. I don't believe that I have ugly feet, or I don't believe that I have crooked teeth, or whatever. I'm uninstalling that ideology. I'm amazing. I'm perfect with all my imperfections. I'm beautiful. I'm made in God's image. That's how y'all need to start maneuvering, even if you don't believe it yet. Even if you don't believe it yet. Is shadow work bad? Shadow work is not bad, and it depends on how you are going about it and your attention behind it. If you are doing shadow work to gain clarity so that you can move forward knowing what not to do, shadow work is good. But if you are doing shadow work for any other reason, like, and I mean, when I say like shadow work, I mean like you are fine tooth combing every single traumatic moment in your life. No, 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 no. I don't feel like, and like the reason that I say this is because I feel like people romanticize their traumas and they become addicted to their traumas. You can become addicted to the negative aspects of life. Some people, have you ever seen people who are like, they're just so like, they love crying. Not the flushing out, energy crying, but they are addicted to like crying, like woe is me. Like they start thinking of sad shit that happened to them just so they can cry. Because they need that. That's a familiar feeling, that sadness, that dread, that depression, like they're addicted to it. That is what doing habitual shadow work can do to you. Okay. And I don't want people to start to get into this habit of constantly like, I have a family like that, always play victim. Yes, they are stuck in their they identify with their victimhood. Victim is a main part of their identity. So that's why I feel like shadow work, it's like it should only be done for so long, okay? And of course, you're gonna have to like recycle and come back and be like, okay, I picked up some new habits. I don't really like them, so let's do some work to figure out what I did wrong, or like to figure out what I no longer want to continue to do. Period. Because you need to know where you came from in order to know where you're going. So I'm not saying that all shadow work is bad, but I'm just saying like doing these deep dives into like these most dark and uncomfortable parts of your past are not necessary. You know it happened and you know how it made you feel. So what did we learn? Like why do we have to like go over this for the next 6 months? That's why I'm not a big fan of traditional therapy. I feel like traditional therapy is only useful to some people who are not aware of things that may have made them feel a certain way, or they're not aware of their own triggers. They're not aware. If you are someone who can go, okay, 1 + 1 = 2, traditional therapy is probably not going to work the best for you. It's probably just going to be you dumpster diving in your traumas with a stranger over things that you already know trigger and affect you in a negative way, and you know what I'm saying, like when they come up in real time now. So it's some people just cannot adapt in real time, and those are the people who need therapy. They're not self-aware. But traditional therapy, I feel like, will not work for somebody who is super self-aware. There's actually been studies done about this. So that's why I say shadow work is not for the weak, and it's not for everybody, and it's not for people who can fall down those paths again, like, and kind of get lost and start repeating those cycles because it's a comfort zone. That's another thing. Shadow work can re-expose you to comfort zones that are unhealthy. So yeah, it's not bad. It's just there's a certain way to do it. And I personally feel like shadow work is specifically for clarity. You shouldn't be doing it for any other reason except for clarity, to learn what not to do and what your triggers are, and to heal them. But yeah, that is my take on energy. That is my take on shadow work. That is my take on negative thoughts. Um, man, what do they recommend for self-aware people? A lot of times, self-aware people are better off doing. And I know this is gonna kind of sound a little extreme, but it's really not, because you actually do self-hypnosis without even realizing it when you're watching your shows, when you're listening to certain music. But hypnosis, EFT tapping. EFT tapping is where you're tapping your meridian points and you are kind of like tapping into your subconscious. I don't want you to take my word for it because I don't know how to exactly explain EFT tapping. I've only ever researched it briefly, but it's good stuff, okay? I'm just going to say it's good stuff. I've had my experiences with it and I've had some great results in terms of changing my mindset about things and reprogramming or uninstalling some old beliefs about myself and installing new beliefs about myself. Um, Another form of therapy, it's not even really like therapy. I would more so say habits. So like long walks, meditation, dancing. These are great forms of what I would consider therapy for people who are too self-aware. If you are so aware of yourself to the point where you don't benefit from traditional therapy, that means that you're too stuck in your prefrontal cortex. You are too conscious. You need to get into your subconscious and access your subconscious where those theta waves start to tap in. Yeah. That means that that's what you need to do. Okay? Cuz you're too up here. You're too out here in the real world. You're too aware. So you need to go where you're not aware in your subconscious. And the only way to do that is to fall into the meditative state. So whatever activities put you into a meditative state, like dancing, reading, meditating, yoga, walking, exercising, going to church, whatever puts you into a meditative state where your conscious armor is not up in arms and it's just your subconscious just busting it wide open, that's the type of therapy you need. I'm that girl. I know myself. Like, I cannot sit down with a therapist and be like, because, like, it's easy for me to talk through things. It's easy for me to understand things and just get things. But that doesn't mean that the therapy worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally got to a point one time where my therapist was like, well, what are you here for? She flat out asked me, what are you here for? You like, you know all the stuff. Like, you know everything. You understand your triggers. You seem like you're pretty self-aware. Like, what are you here for? I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. I just know that subconsciously I need to be accessed. I'm too informed. I'm too informed. And that's the one thing about being a psych major. Like, psych majors getting therapy, it never typically ends well. Because we're too locked up, right? That subconscious is behind metal bars. So yeah, do some things that will get you in the meditative state. Meditative state therapy. Anything else? Dang, it didn't even feel like I've been on here for an hour. That's crazy. But she has been on here for an hour. Like I said, you guys, like I want to make it a point to start coming on here and going live again. Now that I feel comfortable coming on here without makeup, because I'm just like, bruh, acne scars, faded eyebrows, but now I love that. I love that about myself. I be feeling like I don't know. It's just something about my natural face that I'm falling in love with now, and I'm gonna start embracing that. So that means that we're gonna have more frequent lives because I'm not gonna waste time like, oh, I need to do my makeup, I need to get my hair together, I need to da 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 da. Like, no, I'm literally like hair in a ponytail, no makeup. I mean, my skin's moisturized. I took a shower. That's all that matters. I'm clean and I'm here. I get it. I do massages and I can't get massages because I know too exactly because you're like, she's not doing that right. Nope, she's touching my spine. You're not supposed to touch my spine during the massage. Like, yeah, you look beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, like that was one thing I had to get over subconsciously. I'm like, why am I not going live? I just said I was gonna start going live, and I'm like, oh, because you don't want to go live without, doing a little light, little natural beat. And I'm just like, well, go live with no makeup on. And so you can get over that subconscious thing. You see how my behavior is combating that thought, that subconscious process of, oh, I want to go live. I want to go live more. Oh, I don't have any makeup on. Da, 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 da. I'm going to do it anyway. Done. Now what? You see what I'm saying? You see how like, and now I feel better. That behavior, that habit, that action of me going live with no makeup on, like that broke something that was installed. So now I'm uninstalling that preconceived notion that I can't go live without any makeup on, right? When in all reality, nobody really cares. We're all here for the vibes. We're all here to learn from each other. We're all here to exchange and share information. Nobody gives a damn if you have on the Fawn concealer with the Fenty Beauty highlighter and setting powder and the outline low. Nobody cares. We're here for the message. We're here to connect. That's what we're here for. And so I'm installing that right into my mindset. I'm installing that into my belief system. I feel better with that. Um, and I feel more beautiful because of it. Who knew that coming on here in this state of naturalness and also me having allergies, like, would make me feel more beautiful? See, that's a byproduct. And that's why I say working on your self concept is the smartest and most fastest thing that will manifest. Like when I say manifest confidence, manifest smarts, intelligence, manifest love, manifest money, manifest anything, it doesn't matter. Working on your self concept and embracing yourself as is going to make it muy rápido. Speed up the manifestations like nobody's business. Doing things you don't feel comfortable with, doing things that make you I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, doing those things, that is going to make you put you on game. You should see how I look. At least your hair is combed. Listen, y'all lucky that y'all got this ponytail. Okay. Woo. Just kidding. But yeah. So I don't know. I just feel really good. I feel really excited. I'm gonna start going live, like I said. Now, like I said, that I'm okay with coming on here without any makeup on. Y'all about to get way more live broadcasts out of me. We're about to be talking about everything under the sun. We're about to be talking about how to change our self-concept. What the hell is a self-concept? How to embrace the self-concept now that it's changed. Because that's when the fun really begins. That's when people start seeing you and like, oh, you're acting different. You look different. Your energy is different. Something's different about you. I don't like it. Or, oh, I love it. It's going to go one of two ways. What did you do to get so confident? I literally isolated myself for probably like a month straight and I just did a lot of self-work. I worked on my self-concept. I worked on my mental diet. I kid you guys not, affirmations. I know that it sounds like snooze, boring, but still, affirmations, how you speak to yourself, that inner dialogue, that inner conversation that you're having with yourself is the most important conversation that you should prioritize. What are you saying to yourself on a regular basis? Are you saying that's too expensive? Are you saying gas is high? Are you saying your skin's not where you want it to be? What are you saying to yourself on a regular basis? And I don't just mean in conversation. I mean in your mind. I mean when you're alone. And I also mean social media, when you're talking to friends and family, when you're texting, when people are talking to you and they're saying negative things, are you agreeing with them or are you standing 10 toes down on your own personal beliefs? It is about that self talk. Prioritize self talk for the next 7 days, and your life is going to change drastically. I promise you that. I promised you that. That's why I said, y'all, that's why I had y'all say, I feel zero resistance to my desires. Because the moment that your mind and your subconscious feels zero resistance to your desires, things start to change really fast, including your confidence. So even if you don't believe, if you're like, I'm really not that confident, I'm shy, um, I'm an introvert, I'm not really someone who, I'm not really that glamorous, or I'm not really stylish. Whatever you say about yourself, stop it right now. Make this day be the last day that you say that stuff to yourself. Okay? Because you feel what? Zero resistance to your desires. You feel zero resistance to being the most confident version of yourself. You feel zero resistance to feeling confident, to being, to looking, to acting, to behaving confident. You feel zero resistance to that. And since you feel zero resistance to that, you're going to start envisioning, what does it feel like to be this confident version of myself? What does it feel like to talk even though someone's trying to interrupt me? What does it feel like to walk with my spine straight and my chin up? What does it feel like to say thank you or I know when someone gives me a compliment? Stop being, and that's everybody's problem. Y'all think that being humble is diminishing yourselves. Y'all think that being humble and having humility is the same thing. Being humble, I don't advise anyone to be humble. Have humility, that's different. But being humble, shrinking yourself, what is it? Actually, let's look up the actual definition of humble because it's not cute. Let's look up the actual definition because I feel like a lot of people be trying to make this their whole personality, and it's not something that you want to be associated with. So let's say it says there's 2 definitions that pop up, or 3 actually. Number 1 is having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Would you want to be associated with that? Number 2, of low social, administrative, or political rank. Number 3, lower in dignity or importance. Now let's look up the definition of humility. Oops, same thing. A modest or low view of one's own importance. Humbleness, meekness, lack of pride. So I don't know about y'all. But I'm not humble. Okay. Um, I'm not humble and I never will be. Because I feel important. I am important and I know I'm important and I know that I'm valuable and I know that I'm loved and I know that I'm unique and I know so many things about myself that contradict the definition of humble. Let's look up the biblical definition of humble. I'm just curious. Why don't you biblical meaning of humble? Now this says the practice of meekness, obedience to God, respect of self and others, submissiveness and modesty. Now let's look up meekness. What does meekness mean? We're going down a rabbit hole here. Meekness definition. The fact or condition of being meek, submissiveness. That's not long suffering, forbearance. I'm not her. I'm not that girl. Yeah. I'm not unwilling quality of being quiet, gentle, and unwilling to argue or express your opinion. Yeah, it's no, 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 not I. Sorry, I'm not that girl. So yeah, I will never be humble. Now, will I think that will I like compare myself to people? No. Will I think that I'm more valuable than other people? No. Will I think that I'm better than other people? Maybe, sometimes. If I'm practicing and working hard at something and I'm good at it and you're not because you haven't been practicing and working hard at it, I am technically better than you at that thing. If I've been spending 10 years dancing and you spent 1 day dancing and we dance and someone says she's better than you, I'm better than you because I spent 10 years dancing and you spent 1 day dancing and I'm better at dancing than you. So, by proxy, in my mind, with that logic, I'm better than you. So that's why I feel like that's where I feel like my confidence comes from. I think my confidence comes from my logic. I don't fall into the mystical definitions and the words that people try to like use to cover their true intentions. To call me humble is to call me a slur. Okay, because I'm not that girl. Like I said, I'm not humble. I'm not meek. I don't have an issue expressing my opinions about anything. I don't have an issue expressing how I feel about certain things. And some of us have been programmed by our families and by our religions to be quiet, to be submissive, to obey, and to not speak unless spoken to. But that's not my personality, and that's never been my personality. And I think that that's why the number one reason why I'm so confident, because none of these definitions of these words resonate with me. I don't care if it's in the Bible. I'm not meek and I'm not lowly. I'm sorry. People confuse being confident with being conceited. Yeah, there's a difference between, and let's look up at the definition of conceited. Definition of conceited: excessively proud of oneself. Interesting. So what's excessively? Let's look up the definition. To a greater degree or in greater amounts than is necessary, normal, or desirable, inordinately. Okay. So let's see. Going back to conceited, proud of oneself, vain. Yeah, that's annoying. Like, I don't like, I feel like being excessive, anything, like doing too much. And when I say doing too much, I don't mean like being your natural, like voluminous self, but doing too much in a sense of like, you're dragging other people into it now. Like, aren't I so beautiful? Don't you love this about me? Da 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 da. Like, relax. Like, people who need that much external validation to the point where they're like having an impact on other people, it's annoying. So I can understand. Yeah, there's a difference between confident and conceited. I guess I'm conceited. Hey, shout out my nigga Gucci. No, I'm just kidding. It's a shoe fits and the shoe fits. And guess what? Who cares? If you wear that shoe proudly, then wear that shoe proudly. I'm a big fan of learning lessons no matter where they come from. If the lesson is meant for me, the lesson is meant for me. Okay? And there is someone who has taught me what it means to be so confident in believing yourself so much, and they're one of allegedly the worst people in America, Donald Trump. This man manifested so much of his life off of sheer confidence. Do I care about him? No. Do I think he's a good person? No. Do I agree with who he is and how he acts? No. But one thing Donald Trump did right was believe in himself more than anyone else did around him. And he got exactly what he wanted by believing in himself, by affirming himself, and by using his thoughts and transmuting and communicating his thoughts with conviction. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, you are not always going to like the messenger, but the message remains the same. It doesn't even matter. We could go for a good person. Who's a good person? Let's see. I can't think of any good celebrities right now, honestly. I don't care about any of them, to be honest, right now. But hypothetically speaking, a really good person who's super famous, same way. Child, why his butt not in jail? Why is he not in jail? That's the real question. Because he believes in himself. Because he's confident. Because his inner dialogue is positive in regards to what it is he wants. Is it fair? No. But life's not fair. Unless you make it fair, unless you want it to be fair, unless you perceive it to be fair. Remember what I said, where attention goes, energy flows. So yeah, that's what I really want y'all to focus on. I want y'all to focus on, like, be confident because your life depends on it, not because somebody told you you had to be. No, like, you literally need to say, oh, if I'm not confident, I'm gonna die. Like, you really take it, like, if you, because some people need it to be that extreme. And I know that sounds really extreme, but, like, some people need extremity. Some people need pressure to change. And without pressure, there's no diamonds. You feel me? So that's what I want y'all to focus on. I want y'all to focus on taking your power away from your negative thoughts and just see them as regular thoughts. And then I want you to focus on your inner conversation, your inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself? How are you talking to yourself? What words are you using to describe yourself? Self-esteem is key. And then I also want you guys to also repeat this affirmation. I feel zero resistance to my desires. I'm going to say that one more time. This is the last time I'm going to say it tonight. I feel zero resistance to my desires. And I hope that resonates with you, because I'm about to pass out because this medicine is like making me drowsy. As you can see, my eyes are getting a little low. But I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And I can't wait until our next broadcast, which hopefully is going to be tomorrow. I got a lot on my to-do list tomorrow, so if I get home and I'm pooped, I'm out of it. But if I get home and I still got that energy in me, we lit. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. If not, I'll see you guys this weekend. Love you, love you, love you. Good night.